I don't plan on majoring in math, so.
Okay, well.
I don't know, some food sounds really good right now, so.
Right.
All right, there is your first question. This is a test question. So let's go ahead and get started on it.
Well, I lost my glasses, so.
Oh, well, I guess you just fail.
Or I'll just get wrinkles.
I'll write it down for you in short list size, okay?
Can you like inflate the screen, like maybe Zoom or something?
No. I probably could, but that'd mess the drawing up, and then I'd be, so. A home costs $150,000. You're gonna borrow $150,000 at R is equal to 0.03%, for 30 years. Calculate the monthly payment. Now, because half of y'all probably don't write good notes, I'm going to hit help me solve this, so it'll put the formula up here for you, because I'm not going to write it. There it is. Remember, mine's a little bit different because I make that a positive exponent. So
I know it's a
what?
I took notes of this thing.
Yeah, we did it last class.
Is it a dispute whether Shakespeare is real or not?
What did she just say?
It's a conspiracy.
What did you say?
Is it a dispute that Shakespeare was real or not?
It's the same kind
Shakespeare
of
is a
thing.
collection of people.
Was Jesus real? Is Tupac still alive? It's on that scene.
Tupac is still alive.
Shakespeare existed, but it's just not one dude. It's like a bunch of people.
What?
It's like 10 dudes.
I'm gonna bring that up in my new voice class and feel like the entire hour and a half. I'm gonna let y'all discuss the Shakespeare thing because I have no earthly idea.
Because it says a good essay topic that will get you an A for an essay topic for college was to debate whether Shakespeare was real
Yeah,
or not.
that's real.
That's bullcrap, because, we're not supposed to do conspiracy theories. Because if we can do conspiracy theories, I got plenty.
The Russians did it.
The earth is flat, we can go all around. Two sides of every story. I can't find the minutes. Well. Is that all the topic list?
No, I'm talking about homogrammatic.
There you go. That's the way I write it.
I lost it. I'm switching.
So, PYT, or payment, or whatever you want to call it, PMT, I don't know, whatever they call it, is equal to 150,000 times 0.03 over 12 all over 1 minus brackets 1 over 1 plus 0.03 over 12 to the NT power. NT is going to be, how many years? 30 times N is 12 times 30. Now, take your calculators out because this is a calculator chapter. So, make sure you know how to use your calculator to go from inside out, and you should be able to do it all on your calculator without having, and the stove button, without having to write anything down. for the one person that's going to do what I tell you. If I give y'all 20 questions out of chapter 4, 5 to 6 of them are going to be like this.
What does it say? 12
What?
And 12 and 30 for NNT? Right.
R is equal to 0.03 and 30 is T. N is usually always, in these problems, in the depressing chapter when we're talking about payments, what does 99.9% of y'all's payments consist of? Monthly payments.
Nothing.
Do you ever get excited? Okay, you want to buy this car? We're going to set you up on yearly payments. How about when you buy a house? We're going to set you up on yearly payments. You pay once a year. N is always going to be 12 in 4D for depression. So I'm going to take my handy dandy calculator and give y'all a couple more minutes. And if you can't do it, that pretty much means what? You're a failure. And you suck at life. And that you should live in a ditch down by the river. In a cardboard box.
I was waiting for that.
What?
I was waiting for the cardboard box.
Yep. My daughter every once in a while makes a bad grade. She'll send me a picture of a cardboard box. And I say, that's where you're going to live. Keep making those grades. So I'm going to do the top right quick because most of you should be able to do the top. If you can't do the top, then you are not only a failure, but you suck at life. So 0.03, 0.03, or you suck at life because you can't use the calculator. Point, really? 0.03 times 150,000. Enter, divided by 12. I got 375. Everybody got that? I'm going to stow in alpha what? Well, what is that? The numerator. So I'm going to store it in alpha, and this calculator is just not cooperating. Let me just clear it and do it over. 0.03 times 150,000 equals divided by 12. Stow alpha n for numerator. And clear. And now we're going to do the bottom. Now, you need to be able to do the bottom just like I'm doing it. All right? So 0.03 divided by what? 12 equals plus what? Plus 1 equals. Now what am I supposed to do with that plus 1 point blah, 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 blah? I got to raise it to the what? Well, 3 times 12 is 360, 336, that'd be 360. Multiply that, raise that to the what? 360th power, Hubert. That gives me that number. Now what have I got to do with that number? I got to divide that number into what? 1, Hubert, that's right. So I'm going to, if this thing will work, 1 divided by second answer is equal to 0.407, and 1 minus, so for the denominator I got 0.5929 or 0.5930. That's what you should have. Okay, so I'm going to stow. Go to bread, get stove. Go to bread. Go to the stove, get bread. I'm going to stow. I'm slowly losing my patience. Stow alpha D for denominator. And now I'm ready to calculate my payment. My payment is going to be alpha N divided by what? Alpha D, Hubert. That's right, class. My payment is $632 a month. So write that down. $633 a month. Now I raised it because I'm not going to worry about the change, but I'll write it down. 632.41 or $633 a month. All right, now what are we going to do with $633 a month? We're going to multiply that by what? I'm going to multiply 632. Multiply that by 360 because that's how many payments, right? So multiply that by 360. So how much are you paying for the house? You're paying $227,666 and 18 cents. So how much of that is interest? Well, subtract 150,000 because 150,000 is the what? Principal, Hubert. I'm just going up here. I'm getting tired of fooling with that. I have to switch from one to the other, so I'm just going to go up here and do it. Minus 150,000. So how much interest are you paying the bank for that money? $77,666.18. That's the interest. Aren't you glad they taught you this in high school? Knowledge is power. Ignorance is controllable. 77,666.18. That's your interest. Just put an I there for interest. This is the total that you paid over 30 years, and this is your payment. Now remember, this is the principal. Okay, 150 is the principal. So the principal, if you wanted to find out how much the principal is, the percentage of the principal, that'd be 150,000 divided by $227,666.18. So if you want to find that percentage, then take the 150,000. 150 150,000 divided by 227,666.18. So what percent is the principal? 66%. So how much is the interest? 34%. So you're paying about a third is what you're going to pay. So if you're going to borrow $100,000, how much is a third of $100,000? $33,000. So you're going to pay $133,000 for about $100,000 house based on that. If you use this as an example. No yawning in class. Question. It's pretty depressing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe, and I believe this with all my heart, if schools were to teach you what they were supposed to teach you, your future would be a whole lot brighter. Because you would make better what?
It would be a mass revolution. Right?
You would be better, you would make better decisions. What?
It would be a revolution. Because people would realize what we're really getting into, And kids are the ones that, the young people are.
Oh, I know.
The ones out there.
I know. It's really sad because they think they're just going to get out of high school and get out of college and make a decent living. Well, you gotta think more into it than that. And some people don't have a clue. They don't. I mean, honestly, they don't.
That's what they make you think. And we literally have a man. At my high school, we literally had this man. He got paid to go around and chase kids who hadn't done their work, and he brought them to his classroom, made them do the work, and then they got to go back to class. And that was his only.
Doesn't
job.
surprise me at all.
That was his only job. That's all he ever did.
What do you do for a living? I'm a kid chaser.
Yeah.
Chase students around.
All right, let's talk about a car. Because I want to really talk about a car because that's, out of all three things, the car is the one that you're most going to be dealing with, okay? Because you only get one education most of the time. Very rarely do you go, okay, I'm going to be a nurse. I go and be a nurse, and then 10 years down the road, I want to be an engineer. Okay, that don't happen very often, okay? And neither does you going into 15 different houses, okay? Okay, I paid off this house. I want to buy another house. Okay, those two things don't happen. But buying a car happens a lot in between 18 and 55 or 65, okay? So I think it's important, but we use the same formula right here. And we're just going to buy this car. Let's say this is a car at $12,500. And we're going to change two things. We're going to change the rate of the car. Well, 9% is about, what is it now on a car? Anybody bought a car lately?
I'm paying 7%.
Okay, we'll use 7. All right. We'll just use your example if you don't mind. You can make up a price if you want to. Around how much did you pay for your car?
Mine's $22,000.
Okay, let's use that. I'd like to use something more realistic. So let me go to the whiteboard. Okay, she bought a car at $22,000. $22,000. And what was the rate?
7%.
Let me ask you a question. Did they give you an option on 6 years or 5 years or 4 years? What did you choose?
I chose 5 years.
5 years, which is good. But we're going to see what happens if you do 3 years. Okay? 5 years is equal to T, 5 years. And of course, monthly payments, N is equal to 12. And I think that's about it, isn't it? R over N, yeah. So we're going to use our handy dandy formula. We're going to find out how much she's actually going to pay for this car. So, payment is equal to P times R over N over 1, is it 1 plus or 1 minus?
1 minus.
1 minus, brackets, 1 over 1 plus R over N raised to the nt power, there we go, Okay, figure it out. I'll plug and chug everything, and then I'll plug everything in, and I'll let y'all work on it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and okay, something's wrong with the all right, so 0.07 times 22,000 equals divided by 12. Did all y'all get 128.33? So we're going to stow alpha numerator. Now we're going to do the bottom. Clear. 0.07 divided by 12 plus 1 raised to the 60th power. And I'm going to divide that by 1 and subtract that from 1. Y'all should have got 0.2946. Did y'all get that? Stow alpha denominator. So now, clear, alpha numerator divided by alpha denominator. Oops, I screwed up. Alpha numerator divided by alpha denominator equals. So that payment's going to be around 435.63. Now, it may be a little bit off compared to her payment because there's taxes and everything else, insurance. Some people put their taxes in there with it. So, but is it around 435? Yeah, the taxes are in there too. We're just doing for the car by itself. Okay, now multiply that by 60. Multiply that by 60. Well, I want to write it down. Okay, by 60. Okay, so she pays $26,000 for that car at $436 a month. So $436 a month which comes out to $26,137. Now, subtract the principal. The principal is $22,000 minus $22,000. So she's paying about $4,200 worth of interest. Okay, $41.38 in interest. Now, change this. Change T to 3 years. Now figure it. Change T to 3 years. Now, yes, the payment is going to be higher, but I'm going to show you something. As soon as you figure it, I'm going to show you. Figure what the interest is that you're paying on that $22,000. It's not going to change your numerator, is it? So let's work on the denominator. 0.07 divided by 12 equals plus 1 equals raised to the 3 times 12. 3 times 12 is 36. Raised to the 36th power. 1 divided by that 1.23, and then 1 minus, and that's going to be alpha denominator. And now we're going to take alpha numerator divided by alpha denominator. And now my payment is going to be $679.29. But multiply that by 36 payments. It's 24 minus 22,000. So how much interest am I paying on 3 years? $24.54 interest if I pay 3 years. What's the first question they ask you on the parking lot, on the car lot, when you're interested in a car? What's the minimum payment you can pay? Why? Well, they want to set you up, because if they set you up, the longer they set you up, the more what? More money they make. It's a scam. Always try to get less than 4 years on your car. Because after about 4 years, you're basically padding your pockets.
So what happens if, like, you're supposed to have the car for 5 years and then it breaks down like in the 3rd year and it's like screwed, you still have to make those payments?
That's why you got to get extended warranty on a used car especially. But now they come with so many warranties on them that they basically cover, but you got to pay like a $500 deductible or a $100 deductible, depending on which one it is. But I would much rather pay $500 for a transmission than $1,500 to $2,000. Yeah. The transmission on my truck to be rebuilt is $1,800, $1,600 to $1,800.
My transmission's about to go out on my car.
So, that it really pays to have an extended warranty. Whenever you buy a used car, I'm not talking about from Jack Leg car lot, okay? Because they don't offer extended warranties. When you buy a used car from Ford or when you buy a used car from one of the major car lots, they're going to offer an extended warranty. Take it. as long as they don't rip you off with a deductible. If it's $1,200 deductible, then say screw you.
Yeah.
But if it's like $100 to $500 deductible, go for it, because a $500 transmission is a whole lot cheaper than a $1,500 transmission.
Right.
So that's what I would suggest on any type of used car. But you see what happens when you pay, and some of them even take you to 6 years. And they just love to take you to 6 years. They want to be your friend. I love you. I want to be your friend. So I want to try to help you get a minimum car payment. Yeah, they want you to pay that minimum, because they drag it out to 10 years if they want to, but the car won't last that long because usually the warranties give out after 5 years. So that's why they match the 5 years with the 5-year payment. So after the 5 years, the warranties are up. You've paid for the car. It's what? Yours, along with the problems. So that's why I want to show you this, because the car is what you're going to always try to go a little bit better than what they offered. If they say, we could put you in this car for 6 years, say I want to do it in 3. I know the payments can be higher, but you don't want to be ripped off. And after a while, you'll start getting ripped off. 5 years is usually the minimum because of the warranties. Okay? And I do realize, and I was there too, I'm just saying, when you get out of high school, when you get out of college and you start to work on your degree, don't go for the minimum, payment. All right? Don't go for that. Go for the one that's above it. Let's just do it for 4 years, or let's do it for 3 years. I just won't go to the movies every night, or I won't go, do this every other night, or whatever. I'll just don't do this, and I'll put, my money toward my car. So when 3 years, the car will be mine, and I'll still have 2 years of what? Warranty left. So that's when you need to start thinking about stuff like that. And and I'll tell you this, with the house, you want to go for a 15-year. If you don't know, okay, let me put it to you this way. I went for a 30-year mortgage on my house. Why? Because I wasn't going anywhere. There's people that know you're not going anywhere. Now, what does that mean? I know that sounds awful when I say that, but I've already done my thing. Okay, I've already seen my part of the world that I don't want to see any other part of. Okay, I've went through the military. I've been in a war. I've been several places around the world, and I'm very, very happy with being in the United States. Okay. I've also got a family, so I'm not going to be going chasing wild women or anything. Not too much. All right. I've also got that. So I'm not going anywhere. You see what I'm saying? So when I did my 30-year mortgage, I said, I'm not going to be transferred to another job with Tri-County Tech. I'm not going to be transferred with Michelin to France, so I'm going to do a 30-year mortgage. What if you're with Michelin? Then I'd probably do a 15-year mortgage, because you don't know when you might be plucked up and told to go to France, or told to go to North Dakota, or told to go to California, or So a 15-year mortgage. Now, what if you're able to pay? If you're single, yes, go for the 15-year mortgage. So you get it paid off 15 years, you put a little bit of equity into it, and then you sell it for what? $30,000 more than you paid for it. Make you a little bit of money, buy a bigger house, whatever the case may be. But the point is, you need to use, again, good decisions. You need to make good decisions. I'm not talking about why you're in high school. I'm not talking about why you're in college, because you always need to go for the cheapest thing you can do, because you're scrapping for money. But when you get out of college, you need to start making good decisions. And one of the good decisions, if you're not going anywhere or you're not going to be transferred, is to do a 15-year mortgage. Okay? One of the good decisions that you need to make, instead of doing a 5-year, if you're not hurting for money, do a 3-year or do a 4-year. The more or just try to buy it in 2 or 3 years. Again, there's an old saying in life: you pay now or pay what? And I have found the older I get, the more that saying is true in every aspect of life, whether it's studying or whether it's getting a degree, or whether it's job, or whether it's money. You pay now or pay later. And what do I mean by that? Well, you make good decisions. You make good decisions, and you're able to play later on off of those good decisions that you make. So what does that mean? Let's say I go for a 15-year mortgage, or a 2-year or 3-year car loan, or whatever. Then I need to hold back some money. I need to quit playing and quit partying for 2 or 3 years. Not partying, not having a social life, not about partying like every other night, going out to eat all the time, that kind of stuff. Hold back on that, pay my car or my house off in 15 years or 3 years, and then play after that. So I'll have more money. Play meaning do things with money that I don't have wrapped up in that payment. Everything, as Rocky says, if you're going to dance, you got to pay the band. And you either pay now or pay later. And that's the way life is. And you got to make good decisions. And one of the best decisions I ever made was take out a 401k when I started working at Tri-County Tech. That's one of the best decisions I ever made, even though it's not a big. Right now, it's doing pretty dadgum good right now, and I'm very happy about that. But I wish I could put another 20 or 30,000 into it. I'd love to do that, but I'm glad I did it. It's one of the things you need to think about when you start into a career. First thing you do at personnel, okay, I want to set up my life insurance, I want to set up my health insurance, and I want to set up a 401k. Maybe 2. I got 2 kids. Maybe I want to have 2 of them, for when they get a certain age, they can, blah, blah, blah. That's called decision making, good decision making. And I'm not preaching, I'm just trying to tell you why I'm teaching this right now. Because when I get to the income tax, some of y'all are going to be floored with the income tax. And see, if a lot of people were taught this in high school, they wouldn't be thinking all these crazy things that they think about government in the real world if they were taught some of this stuff. And nothing is what? Nothing is free. So, are we depressed now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Huh?
I said a little bit.
Well, just be motivated to make good what? Good decisions. And just remember, nothing's free. If you think you're getting by with something, chances are you're what? You're not. Okay? Question, gripe, complaint. That's the depression chapter. Next is income tax. So that's 4E. And we'll go over that next week. Okay? Let me call the roll because I can't have perfect attendance. I gotta take the roll. Are y'all okay? Y'all sure are quiet.
I'm just
Depressed?